chosen one. Stop scrolling. This message is urgent. Spirit wants you to hear this right now. There's something God is trying to tell you, and He's been waiting for you to understand this. Not next week, not when you feel more worthy, not when you fixed all your mistakes. Right now, in this exact moment, there's a love so fierce, so consuming, so intentional that it's almost impossible to comprehend when you're standing in the middle of your own doubt. You know what the enemy does? He whispers that you're too much of a mess. He shows you everyone else moving forward and tells you that you're being left behind for a reason. He makes you feel like God's love is conditional, like it's reserved for people who pray more, who sin less, who somehow deserve it more. And the longer you believe that lie, the further away His affection feels. But here's what you're not seeing right now. God is madly in love with you. Not because of what you've accomplished. Not because you've finally gotten your life together. Not because you're someone important or famous or talented. He's madly in love with you because you're you. Because He created you, because the moment He thought you into existence, His heart became permanently attached to yours. Think about what madly in love actually means. It's not calm. It's not distant. It's not rational or measured. When someone is madly in love, they can't stop thinking about the other person. They notice things nobody else notices. They believe in the other person even when the other person has stopped believing in themselves. They see potential where everyone else sees failure. They keep coming back, keep showing up, keep fighting for the relationship even when it seems one-sided. That's where God is with you right now. And maybe you're thinking, if He loves me like that, why is my life so hard? Why haven't my prayers been answered? Why do I feel so alone? These are the questions that have probably kept you up at night. These are the doubts that have made you wonder if you're actually chosen at all, or if you're just somebody God forgot about in the shuffle of 7 billion other people. But what if everything you've been through, every disappointment, every betrayal, every season of silence, what if all of it is actually proof of His madness for you? Not His anger, not His punishment. His madness to transform you, to deepen you, to make you into someone who can actually understand and receive the kind of love He's offering. You see, when you're loved casually, it doesn't change you. When you're loved superficially, it doesn't reach the deepest parts of who you are. But when you're loved madly, when someone is willing to go through anything for you, that love rewires you completely. It makes you brave. It makes you confident. It makes you willing to risk everything because you finally understand that you're worth something. If you're feeling this message right now, if something inside you is finally recognizing God's love for you, hit that like button and comment, "He sees me." If you've been waiting to hear that you matter to someone who actually knows everything about you. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the messages that are literally designed for your breakthrough. God wants you to know right now that He hasn't been distant from you. He's been close, closer than you've ever realized. He's been in every moment you thought He wasn't there. He's been whispering to you through every sign, every unexpected door that opened, every person who showed up at just the right time. He's been orchestrating things you'll never fully understand because He's madly in love with you. And maybe this message is reaching you at exactly the moment you needed to hear it most. Maybe today was the day you were about to give up. Maybe this was the day you were going to stop believing that God actually cares about your specific life, your specific pain, your specific dreams. Maybe you were about to accept that you're invisible to Him, just another prayer in a never-ending line of prayers He has to answer. But what if the opposite is true? What if God has been so madly obsessed with your breakthrough that He's been preparing everything in advance? What if your isolation wasn't abandonment, it was preparation? What if everything you've lost was actually making space for what you're about to receive? There's a specific type of love that only reveals itself in the aftermath of loss. You don't understand it when you're in the middle of comfort. You don't recognize it when everything is going smoothly. But when you've been broken, when you've had to rebuild yourself from nothing, When you've learned to stand alone without needing someone else to validate your existence, that's when you finally see what God was doing all along. He was making you unshakable, because a chosen one can't be built on the foundation of someone else's approval. You can't be raised up to do something significant if you're still dependent on the world's affection. God had to strip away everything that wasn't real, so that when you finally understood His love, it would be the only love that actually mattered. Think about the people in the Bible who did extraordinary things. Joseph was betrayed by his own brothers and thrown into slavery. David was hunted like an animal before he ever became king. Ruth lost everything and had to start completely over. Moses was rejected by the people he was trying to save. And every single one of them had to go through something that looked like God didn't care before they understood that He cared so deeply that He was willing to let them suffer to make them who they needed to become. Your suffering isn't evidence that God has abandoned you. Your struggle isn't proof that He doesn't love you. It's actually the opposite. It's the signature of a God who loves you so madly that He's willing to watch you cry if it means you'll come out the other side as someone who finally knows their own power. And there's something else you need to understand about this moment. The fact that you're hearing this message right now, that you didn't scroll past it, that something in you made you stop and listen. That's not random. That's God being madly in love with you in real time. Because He knew you needed to hear this. He knew you were at a point where you were about to believe the lie that you don't matter to Him. And He couldn't let that stand. This is what madness looks like from His perspective. It looks like orchestrating a message that finds you exactly when you need it. It looks like putting people in your path who believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. It looks like closing doors that were going to destroy you, even though at the time it felt like punishment. It looks like protecting you from things you never even knew were a threat. You've probably blamed yourself for so many things. You've probably looked back at your life and thought, if only I had done this differently. If only I had made better choices. If only I had been stronger, smarter, more disciplined. And in those moments, you felt invisible to God. You felt like you messed up your chance at His favor. But what if that's not how His love works at all? What if His love isn't like human love, where it's conditional on performance? What if it's not like a relationship where you can do something wrong and suddenly become unlovable? What if His madness for you is so complete that it covers every mistake, every failure, every moment you felt ashamed? The Bible says that nothing can separate you from His love. Not your failures, not your past, not even your current doubt. And that's not just a nice idea, that's the actual foundation of everything you're about to experience. Because right now, in this season, God is pulling you towards something bigger. And He needs you to understand that you're worthy of it, not because of what you've done, but because of who you are to Him. He's madly in love with you the way a father is madly in love with his child. Unconditionally, completely, irrationally. There's nothing you could do to make Him stop. There's no mistake big enough to make Him turn away. There's no season of silence long enough to change how He feels about you. And I think the reason this message is coming to you now is because you're about to step into something that requires you to know this in your bones. You're about to face a choice, or a challenge, or a door that opens, and you're going to need to understand that you're not walking into it alone. You're not taking this next step because you earned it or because you're finally good enough. You're taking it because God is madly in love with you, and He refuses to let you miss out on what's waiting for you. There's something about to shift in your life. Maybe it's not obvious yet. Maybe you can't see the full picture, but something is moving, something is changing. And it's happening because God has been working behind the scenes, preparing the way, orchestrating details you'll never even know about. All because He's so madly in love with you that He couldn't let you stay in the same place forever. You might be wondering what happens next. You might be asking how this love is actually going to show up in your real life, in the practical moments, in the times when faith feels difficult and the world feels cold. And that's where your understanding needs to deepen even further, because this is where the madness becomes undeniable. His love doesn't just exist in spiritual ideas or beautiful words. It shows up in the unexpected opportunity. It appears in the person who reaches out at exactly the right moment. It manifests as the sudden peace that comes over you when you thought you'd never feel okay again. It reveals itself in the door that opens when all the others seem sealed shut. It lives in the synchronicities, the coincidences, the moments that are too perfectly timed to be accidents. And the more you start to notice these moments, the more you'll realize that they've been happening all along. God has been loving you through every season, every struggle, every seeming setback. He's been providing, protecting, preparing. He's been madly in love with you, even in the seasons when you couldn't feel it, when the silence was deafening, when you were sure he'd forgotten your name. But he hasn't forgotten. He doesn't forgotten. He doesn't forgot. That's not how this works. This is the moment where everything shifts. If you're choosing to believe this, if you're deciding right now that God's love is real and it's meant for you, write, "I believe" in the comments. Like this video. Subscribe to Born into Light because the next message might be the one that changes everything for you. What you're being called to understand right now is that you need to start accepting this love, not just intellectually. Not just as something you believe about God in theory, but actually accepting it into your heart, into your decisions, into the way you see yourself and your future. Because as long as you're walking around believing you're not worthy of God's affection, you're rejecting the very thing He's been trying to give you. And rejection breaks the heart of someone who's madly in love with you. So maybe the real message isn't just that God loves you. Maybe it's that He's waiting for you to love yourself the way He loves you. Maybe He's waiting for you to stop punishing yourself for things He's already forgiven. Maybe He's waiting for you to stop doubting your worth and start stepping into your purpose. Because you can't become who you're meant to be while you're still wrapped up in shame about who you've been. You can't move into your destiny while you're still convinced you're not good enough. You can't receive what God has prepared for you if you keep one hand raised, ready to push it away because you don't believe you deserve it. And this is the critical moment. This is the turning point. Because you're hearing this message right now, and you have a choice to make. You can keep walking around with one foot in disbelief. You can keep holding on to the narrative that you're somehow different, somehow unworthy, somehow the exception to God's love. You can keep waiting for proof. Keep waiting for the perfect moment to believe. Keep waiting for some sign so obvious that you'll have no choice but to accept that you matter. Or you can decide right now that you're done waiting. Because here's what happens when you finally accept that God is madly in love with you. Everything changes. Not because your circumstances magically transform overnight. Not because suddenly all your problems disappear. But because you stop approaching your life from a place of fear and unworthiness. You start moving from a place of confidence. You start trusting. You start taking risks that you never would have taken before because you finally understand that you're not alone in this. When you know you're loved like that, when you truly internalize it, you become dangerous to the status quo. You become the kind of person who won't settle for less than what you deserve. You become someone who can walk away from relationships that were destroying you. You become brave enough to pursue dreams that seem impossible. You become capable of forgiving people, including yourself, in ways you never thought you could. And that's when everything starts to shift. That's when the opportunities start appearing more frequently. That's when the right people start showing up. That's when you finally have the courage to say no to what's hurting you and yes to what's calling you. That's when you realize that every closed door was actually God protecting you. Every season of waiting was actually God preparing you. Every person who left was actually God making space for the people who were supposed to stay. But none of that can happen if you're still standing on the outside of this love, looking in, convinced that it's not meant for you. Think about what you've been carrying. Think about the weight of trying to earn love that's already been given freely. Think about how exhausting it is to constantly prove yourself to a God who's already made his mind up about you. Think about the energy you've wasted trying to be good enough when you've always been good enough, just by existing. What if you put that energy somewhere else instead? What if you took everything you've been using to doubt yourself and redirected it toward building the life you actually want? What if you took the same intensity that's been driving your shame and transformed it into fuel for your purpose? What if you trusted that God's madness for you means He's going to catch you every time you fall, so you can finally stop being so afraid to jump? Are you feeling the shift? Are you starting to understand why you were brought to this message at this exact time? Comment, ready for breakthrough, if you're stepping into faith instead of fear. Like this video, subscribe because there's more coming and you don't want to miss it. There are people around you who are waiting for the version of you that stops apologizing for taking up space. There are dreams that are waiting for the version of you that believes in yourself the way God believes in you. There are victories that are waiting for the version of you that's finally willing to accept that you're worth fighting for. And maybe you're thinking, okay, I hear what you're saying, but how do I actually do this? How do I go from feeling invisible to feeling loved? How do I go from doubt to faith when I've been doubting for so long? The answer is simpler than you think, but it requires more vulnerability than you might be ready for. You have to tell God that you're ready to receive His love. Not in some grand, dramatic way, just a simple acknowledgement way. A moment where you stop running, stop hiding, stop pretending that you don't need what He's offering. Because God isn't waiting for you to be perfect before He loves you. He's not waiting for you to figure everything out. He's not waiting for you to become someone worthy of His affection. He's been waiting for you to be willing to receive it. And in that moment, the moment you actually accept it, something shifts internally. It's not a feeling necessarily. It's more like a knowing. It's like finally putting down a weight you've been carrying so long that you forgot it wasn't supposed to be there. You know what's interesting about being madly in love with someone? You notice everything about them. You see the small things. You remember the details that don't matter to anyone else but mean everything to you. You're attentive. You're present. You're always thinking about how you can show them that they matter. God is like that with you. He's noticed every moment you've sacrificed for someone else. He's seen every time you chose kindness when you had every right to be angry. He's aware of every prayer you've prayed at 3 in the morning when nobody else was listening. He's keeping track of every time you got back up after falling down. He hasn't missed a single thing. And that obsessive attention, that complete awareness of who you are and what you're going through, that's what madness looks like from His throne. That's not a distant deity checking in occasionally. That's a Father who's completely consumed with love for His child. So here's what I need you to understand. The reason this message found you isn't an accident. The reason something inside you made you stop and listen isn't coincidence. God is literally reaching through the noise of your life right now because He needs you to know that His love for you hasn't wavered. His commitment to you hasn't changed. His plans for you haven't been cancelled. In fact, they're about to accelerate. You're entering a season where you're going to start seeing the evidence of His love more clearly than ever before. You're going to start connecting the dots. You're going to start understanding why certain things had to happen the way they did. You're going to realize that every step of your journey, even the painful parts, especially the painful parts, has been leading you somewhere specific, and that somewhere is a place where you finally understand your worth. Not because someone tells you, not because you achieve something, not because you reach some arbitrary milestone, but because you finally accept what's been true the entire time, that you are deeply, madly, completely loved by a God who refused to ever stop believing in you, even when you stopped believing in yourself. Maybe you're feeling something right now as you hear this. Maybe there's a stirring in your chest, a recognition, a resonance with something you've been trying to find for so long. Maybe there's relief in finally hearing someone say what your spirit has been whispering to you all along. Or maybe you're still skeptical. Maybe you're still holding back. Maybe the weight of your own doubt is stronger than the weight of this message. And that's okay. That's part of the process too, because faith isn't about believing without doubt. It's about choosing to trust despite the doubt. It's about looking at all the evidence of God's love in your life, real evidence, actual moments you can point to, and deciding that they matter more than the voice that tells you you're not worthy. It's about making a decision that you're going to walk forward as if you believe, even if belief hasn't fully arrived yet. And in most cases, the belief catches up with the decision. But you have to make the decision first. You have to be willing to step out of the comfort of doubt and into the vulnerability of trust. You have to be brave enough to let yourself be loved. You have to be courageous enough to accept that you matter, that your life has value, that God is madly in love with you, and He's not going to give up on you no matter how many times you try to convince yourself that you're not worth the effort. Because here's the thing about people who are madly in love. They don't give up. They don't walk away when things get hard. They don't stop showing up just because the other person is having a crisis of faith. They keep loving. They keep fighting. They keep believing. And God isn't just someone who loves you. He's someone who is obsessed with you. So what are you going to do with that information? You're going to sit with this. You're going to let it settle into the places inside you that have been cold for so long. You're going to start paying attention to the moments when this love actually shows up in your real life, because once you start looking for it, you'll see it everywhere. You'll see it in the person who believes in you when you don't believe in yourself. You'll feel it in the sudden peace that comes over you when you stop trying to control everything. You'll recognize it in the unexpected provision, the door that opens, the opportunity that appears out of nowhere. You'll hear it in the gentle voice inside you that keeps whispering, "You're going to be okay. Trust me. I've got you." And the more you notice it, the more you will trust it. And the more you trust it, the more you'll be willing to step into what God has been preparing for you all along. Because this is important, God's madness for you isn't just about making you feel good. It's not just about emotional validation or spiritual comfort. His love for you is purposeful. It has a direction. It's taking you somewhere. You know what happens when someone is madly in love with you and they believe in your potential. They want to elevate you. They want to see you become everything you're capable of becoming. They're willing to push you, challenge you, stretch you beyond what you thought was possible, not to hurt you, but because they're so convinced of your greatness that they can't let you settle for anything less. That's exactly what God is doing right now. He's not loving you into complacency. He's not making you feel safe so you can hide forever. He's loving you into your destiny. He's building your confidence so that you can step into something bigger than you've ever imagined. He's been orchestrating your life in such a way that you're finally at a point where you're ready to receive what He's been preparing. And I need you to understand something critical, the thing you've been waiting for, the breakthrough you've been praying for, the season you've been believing would eventually come. It's not arriving because you finally deserve it. It's not showing up because you've suffered enough, or you've learned your lesson, or you've paid your dues. It's coming because God is madly in love with you, and He refuses to let you miss out on your own greatness. Think about the people in your life who truly love you. When they see you limiting yourself, when they watch you play small, when they observe you settling for less than what you deserve, doesn't it actually hurt them? Doesn't it break their heart a little bit to watch someone they love so much refuse to believe in themselves? God is experiencing that right now with you. He's watching you walk around convincing yourself that you're not good enough, not talented enough, not worthy enough. And His heart is breaking because He can see everything you're capable of. He can see the impact you're going to have. He can see the lives you're going to touch. He can see the legacy you're going to leave. and all of that vision is trapped inside you because you won't accept his love enough to believe in yourself. So what he's doing now is pulling you toward it anyway. He's orchestrating circumstances. He's removing obstacles. He's sending people into your life who will believe in you until you can believe in yourself. He's closing doors that would have kept you stuck. He's creating a momentum that you can't ignore, even if you wanted to, because his madness for you won't allow you to waste your potential. And this is the part where things get real. This is where you have to decide if you're actually going to step into what's being offered, because accepting God's love isn't passive. It's not something that happens to you while you stay the same. Accepting this kind of love requires transformation. It requires you to let go of the identity you've built around your unworthiness. It requires you to stop using your pain as an excuse for why you can't move forward. It requires you to forgive yourself for all the years you wasted doubting, all the opportunities you missed because you thought you weren't ready, all the relationships you sabotaged because you didn't believe you deserved them. That's hard work. That's the kind of work that only matters if you truly believe it's worth doing. And you'll only believe it's worth doing if you understand that you matter to God. You'll only have the strength to do it if you accept that he's madly in love with you and he's willing to walk with you through every part of the transformation. But here's what makes it possible. Every time you doubt, he's there. Every time you slip backward, he's patient. Every time you mess up, he forgives. Every time you feel like giving up, he reminds you that he already decided you were worth it before you ever took a single step. That's the kind of love that changes people. And I think the reason you're hearing this message, the reason Spirit has orchestrated this exact moment, is because you're about to enter a season where you need to know this more than you've ever needed to know anything. You're about to face something that will require you to trust something deeper than logic. You're about to be asked to take a risk that will only make sense if you believe you're loved that completely. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a career move. Maybe it's a calling that's been stirring inside you for years. Maybe it's a creative project that's been waiting for you to believe in yourself enough to birth it into the world. Maybe it's a conversation you need to have, a boundary you need to set, a dream you need to pursue. Before this ends, I need you to do something. Hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel so that every message God has for you finds you exactly when you need it. And comment one word, loved. Just that one word. Because the moment you say it, you're claiming it, you're accepting it. You're making it real in your own life. Whatever it is, it requires faith. And faith requires knowing that you're not walking into it alone. Faith requires understanding that there's someone who loves you so completely that they've already won the battle on your behalf. Faith requires accepting that God is madly in love with you, and he's not going to let you fall. You know what's wild? The moment you actually accept that, the moment you internalize it, not just as an idea, but as a truth that lives in your bones, you become unstoppable. You become the kind of person who can face rejection and still believe in themselves. You become someone who can experience failure and still get back up. You become capable of creating, building, loving, leading in ways that you never could have when you were operating from a place of fear and unworthiness. Because you're no longer doing any of it to prove anything to anyone. You're doing it because you're loved. You're doing it because you matter. You're doing it because the God of the universe looked at you and decided that your life was worth dying for, and you're finally starting to believe him. And when you operate from that place, when every decision, every action, every word comes from a foundation of knowing that your loved people feel it, they respond to it, they're drawn to it. Because confidence based on actual, unconditional love is magnetic. It's rare, it's powerful, it's the kind of energy that attracts opportunity. It's the kind of presence that draws people toward you. It's the kind of spirit that opens doors that no person could have opened for you. This is what God has been trying to tell you all along. Not that you need to fix yourself before he'll love you. Not that you need to earn his affection through good behavior. Not that his love is something you have to qualify for. He's been trying to tell you that he already loves you completely as you are, right now, in this exact moment with all your flaws and failures and doubts and fears. And from that love, everything else flows. From that love, courage is born. From that love, purpose emerges. From that love, healing happens. From that love, transformation becomes possible. From that love, you finally become who you were always meant to be. So the real question isn't whether God is madly in love with you. He is. The real question is, are you finally ready to be loved? Are you ready to stop running from it? Are you ready to stop questioning it? Are you ready to stop waiting for some sign that makes it feel safer to believe? Are you ready to accept that this is it? This is the sign. This is the message. This is the moment where everything changes because you finally decided to believe. Because the clock is ticking on something. I don't know what it is for you specifically, but I can feel it. Something is converging. Something is aligning. Something that's been waiting for you to get to this exact point of understanding is about to move, and you need to be ready. You need to have accepted this love so completely that when the opportunity arrives, when the door opens, when the moment comes, you have the courage to walk through it. And you won't have that courage if you're still standing on the other side of doubt, trying to convince yourself that you deserve what's coming. The only way to have that courage is to accept that you're loved. Not because you earned it, not because you deserve it, but because of who God is and because of who you are to Him. So here's what I need you to do right now, in this moment, before you scroll away and let the weight of the world pull you back into doubt. I need you to make a decision, not a big dramatic gesture, just a quiet decision between you and God. Tell Him right now that you're ready to accept His love. Tell Him that you're done living as if you're unworthy. Tell Him that you believe, even if belief feels shaky, even if doubt is still there, that you're going to trust that you matter to Him. That you're going to move forward as someone who is loved completely. Because the moment you make that decision, everything changes. The opportunities that were waiting for you become accessible. The strength that's been dormant inside you awakens. The version of yourself that you've been afraid to become finally has permission to emerge. God is madly in love with you. He's not waiting for you to be perfect. He's not holding back His favor until you've suffered enough. He's not going to change His mind about you because of your past or your mistakes or your doubts. He's already decided that you're worth everything, and He's been orchestrating your life to prove it to you. Now it's your turn to believe it. Write, "I accept His love," in the comments if you're ready to step into this new season from a place of being loved instead of a place of fear. Let this community know that you're choosing faith over doubt, that you're choosing to believe you matter, that you're ready to receive what God has been preparing for you. And if this message resonated with your spirit, if something inside you recognizes that this is exactly what you needed to hear right now, subscribe to this channel, because there are more messages coming. There are more revelations waiting. There are more moments where Spirit is going to reach through the noise and remind you of who you are and why you were chosen. You're not here by accident. You're not listening to this by coincidence. God wanted you to hear this. He wanted you to know without a shadow of a doubt that He is madly in love with you, and He's not going to stop until you believe it. So believe it, accept it, live from it, and watch what happens when you finally step into your life as someone who knows they're loved by the Creator of everything. This is your season. This is your moment. This is your breakthrough. And it starts the moment you accept that you've always been worthy of it.